Hello, Marissa Schwartz here to talk to you about entrepreneurship and starting at a young age. I'm lucky. I grew up in my parents' mom and pop carpet shop. From the time I was a week old, I made my first appearance at the Carpet Maven, and I basically grew up there. I grew up in an entrepreneurial household where you make your own business. I started my first business, I was like 4 years old, selling little paper jewelry that I made in my parents' store. And then that morphed into selling lemonade on the front lawn when I was 10 to help the puppies at the local shelter, which morphed into me making jewelry and selling at street fairs, which morphed into my next big career, which was writing and editing online. I started on a freelancing website, copy editing, copywriting, which got me into writing my first book. And my first book at a young age, my first book, I was 17 when I wrote my first book, and then I was 20 when I had my first book published by a publishing company. And everybody said to me, how did you get a book published at such a young age? Which led me to Gen Z Publishing, my publishing company. And that has been my biggest passion since I started it. And that's why, you know, I was in college when I had that book published, and there was no dialogue about starting a business. Everybody, every advisor, every professor said, after you graduate here, you either go on for your master's, you go on for your PhD, or you get a job. And most of them were leaning towards the job end of the spectrum. And I thought, okay, well, I know I grew up in an entrepreneurial household, but I guess I gotta get a job. I guess being an entrepreneur isn't the realistic way to go. So I started searching for a job, and I was also planning on going for my master's. But my entrepreneurial parents said, Maris, what are you doing? You are an entrepreneur. And I said, well, I don't know how realistic that is. My advisors told me I should think about getting a job here or getting a job there or doing this or that. And they kind of said, well, think about it. Think about you. Would you be happy working 9 to 5 for somebody else? You know, would you be happy with that? You are a natural born leader. You have all these different qualities that we can't really see you being happy in this kind of routine doing 9 to 5s. And it struck me that they were 100% correct, and that as much as I enjoyed school, it wasn't structured for somebody with my kind of entrepreneurial personality. And I have a lot of friends like that who they're entrepreneurs. They didn't enjoy school because of the way that it's structured and the way that they implore you to get a job after school, like there's no other option. So after I graduated college, I did start going for my master's. I'm set to graduate this June, and I'm really enjoying that. But even going for my master's, the professors, the advisors, nothing is really an entrepreneurial conversation. It's a job conversation in classes. They say, when you have a job, you can use this lesson for but. It's not, when you own your business, you can use this lesson for blah, blah, blah. You know, so you have to really kind of cater what the professors say and change it to meet what you do, because they're not gearing it towards entrepreneurs. So my advice making this video is to not be afraid to follow your own path. If you are an entrepreneur, you are an entrepreneur, and I think that that's something that needs to change in the schooling systems, that, you know, not everybody works for somebody, that entrepreneurs account for a huge part of the population, and they keep growing with the gig economy and with online working. And, you know, you can find people all around the world now on these different websites offering their services, and they're creative. It's amazing, because I have my publishing company, Gen Z. We have some really amazing authors. We have had #1 bestsellers this year. I mean, I'm ecstatic, and I love working with these authors. But at the same time, I'm really into creativity. So I love making music and I love writing. So I actually am on some of these sites. You know, I'll sing vocals for a musician just because I love to make music, and that's technically another entrepreneurial endeavor, that I'm singing with these musicians. Or I will write an article on business or on entertainment for a company, because that's another business. I still like to copyright. I still like to do things like that. So, you know, I still, that's the great thing. I still get to be entrepreneurial. I still get to be creative. online, in my pajamas, no 9 to 5, no boss, and you get to work with people all around the world. I've probably worked with a good 1,000 people in the past 5 years of working online, and it's incredible, and that's why I'm really happy to be alive during this time where we have these opportunities. I think that's another reason with the schooling system that they don't tell you can be an entrepreneur. They're used to a time pre-internet where you actually had to go into an office from 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock because you had really no other means of communication. But now, I speak to a man in Texas, I speak to a man in India, I speak to a woman in Australia, all within the same hour on multiple projects, and they're all work, and it's wonderful. And that's this new world. So my advice with this video is follow your passion, be an entrepreneur. Advisors are great. I've had some really great advisors, but the biggest advisor is you, and you need to go where your path leads you. If you are an entrepreneur, you do what it takes to make your dreams come true. I mean, with Gen Z, when I first mentioned it to people, like, oh, I'm 20, but I'm going to start a publishing company, a lot of people didn't get it. I had a business advisor who said, it sounds like a cool idea, but I kind of don't get it. But now people get it because we have a lot of authors and we have a lot of books out there. People get it. And I plan to keep growing that business, and I think I have some more business ideas and ventures in me. So keep at it. That's my advice for today. I'm Marissa Schwartz. Check out my website, marissaschwartz.com. I do public speaking and consultations, and if you want to check out our books from Gen Z, go to genzpublishing.org, and we have a book in pretty much every genre, so you'll find something that you like, and we have a lot of great books coming out. Alright, thanks for stopping in. Bye-bye.